Hey guys, today I'm going to show you how to build one of these floating shelves. I didn't buy any of the wood for this project. All I used were some scraps laying around the shop. So stick around and I'll show you how to make one of these. So like I said, these are just scraps I had laying around the shop. If you were to buy materials for this project, you'd need a 2x4x8 and a half a sheet of MDF. MDF stands for medium density fiberboard. It's much cheaper than plywood and it has a smoother factory finish. Anyways, the first thing I did was cut for the top of the shelf, and that's going to be 10.5 inches with a 45-degree angle on one of the edges. The next thing I cut for was the front face and the sides of the shelf. I set the fence to 3.5 inches and ripped a 45-degree angle on 2 strips. After cutting the top, the front, and the 2 sides to the correct width, it's time to cut them to the correct length. I cut the top face of the board to 51 inches with a 45-degree angle on each side of the board. Now it's time to cut for the front face and the side faces, making sure you have a 45-degree angle where each of the corners will meet. The front face will be 51 inches in length and the 2 side pieces will be 10.5 inches in length. I didn't show this part, but I cut 3 1-inch strips to attach to the inside angles for more support. I started attaching the faces on the right side of the shelf and then worked my way around to the left side of the shelf. I'm using 2-inch brad nails and shooting them in at an angle to make a stronger joint. One of the great things about using MDF is it's really easy to work with. If you have a gap in your joints, just put some wood glue over it and then sand it with 220 and you'll never even be able to notice it once you paint over it. Right here I'm cutting 2 small corner brackets out of some MDF to glue to the inside of the shelf. Before painting MDF, it's important that you primer it first. So that's what I'm going to do here, is primer it with this gray spray paint and then paint it black. So it was super windy when I was putting this primer on and it was going pretty well, and then my tripod blew over, the cover to my mic fell off, but after looking over it, surprisingly nothing broke on it. Anyways, I started ripping up this scrap 2x6 into 2-inch pieces. These 2-inch pieces are going to serve as the bracket for the floating shelf. It's what I'm going to actually mount to the wall. I cut 3 pieces at 9 inches and then 1 piece at 48 inches, and then I went ahead and fastened them all together. After the primer is completely dry, just scratch it up with some 220 sandpaper before painting it. Alright, so my battery died while I was filming this part, but what I did was drill Krig pocket holes, so whenever I mount it on the wall, I'll be able to fasten the floating shelf to the bracket here with these pocket holes. This is just generic polyurethane that I got from Ollie's. It was $1.99, so it's pretty hard to beat as far as the price goes. And after removing my old setup, I'm ready to hang this new floating shelf. I start by locating one stud and then screwing a 3.5 inch drywall screw through the bracket and into the stud. And then I put the level on it, measure over 16 inches, and put another 3.5 inch drywall screw into the stud. After sliding on the shelf, crawl underneath and put some screws through the pocket holes, securing the bracket to the shelf.
And that's how you build a floating shelf. Make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. 90% of the people that watch my videos are not subscribed yet. So do me a huge favor and click that subscribe button. If you want to tackle a project like this, just remember one tip: measure twice, cut once. Check back next week for my next how-to video on a concealed American flag. Till next time, see you later.